We are in Spirit Vine Center in Brazil. We just finished a retreat with a group of the Middle East. We have two participants from this retreat. One is Melanie, also the organizer. She brought the group. Thank you, Melanie. And we have Magella, originally from Ireland. So I would like to hear and to show to the people what was the most important lesson you learned this week.
Would you like to start? Okay. For me, the most important thing that I've learned coming away from this is how to change my everyday life. This, for me, it wasn't like the bigger, grander scale. I could see habits in my everyday life before I came here that I wanted to change. And she showed me that, which was, and she showed me very clearly, which was amazing. So for me, that's what was important.
Can you give us an example?
Sure, yes. I have, even before I got married, I could see habits that I had that were blocking me from doing certain things. And I probably pushed them all aside once I got married, and then I got pregnant and put my son first. But I could see that my habits were still, if anything, getting worse. And also, not only that, but my son was picking up on my fears, and even though I wouldn't say it to him, my son was picking up on these things. So I began to realize that it was more important for me to work on myself in order to help myself, and therefore my son would just pick up from it. And so, for example, the lack of, for me, self-love to do with exercise and meditating, the stuff that I used to do before, has now again been reinforced, where, like, if I show my son that I do these things for myself, that he will pick up these healthy habits and just do them automatically.
Can we say that we discovered the cause of the lack of self-love?
Yes, yeah.
It was difficult to discover the cause?
No, I think during the week here, it wasn't just the ayahuasca that where I was learning stuff. It was through your sessions, and also Melanie's sessions, where I've learned so much, and mostly to the causes, like the lack of, for me, disconnect with myself, or the lack of wanting to build a relationship, connect to God, but also realizing that I first need to heal the connect with myself, so that I can feel the connect. And this I learned here just during the week, like the root cause and where this and when this happened. And this is, oh my God, helped me so much, where now I'm leaving with tools that I know how to help this every day, which is just, it's amazing. Like, I didn't even think of this before I came here. For me, it was to change like small negative habits that I have during the day, but now it's like to find the root cause and to work from there is just like, it's a huge insight, and it's a huge opportunity for me to heal myself, and I can do it myself. That's what's amazing. I don't have to rely on outside sources, and it's such a simple thing, to do with meditation and what you taught us,
and to apply the tools.
Yeah, to apply the tools. And it's like, it can be done daily. It's not like I have to travel across the world to do this. It's like something I can do myself every day, every night in bed before I go to sleep, or every morning when I wake up. And also then, therefore, like, if me learning how to love myself in that tender way is, I hopefully will pass that on, to my son.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are the model.
Yeah. Like, for me to be a great mother for him, in a positive way, where you're enforcing these essential things growing up. Like, we all have so much damage, whether we know it or not, but we learn it eventually. We all have so much damage from our childhood, and not blaming parents, but it's like they also have these things, but it's to learn that we have to do it ourselves without throwing the blame onto other, like even our parents, like being angry with our parents growing up, or
and
so
that will
easy
not
to
feel anything, to blame.
It makes you more angry and bitter, and more unhappy.
Yeah.
So eventually I learned that you want to change these things, and now to leave with that basic.
Now it's in your hands.
Yeah,
Good.
that's awesome. Yeah.
And you, Melanie, is your third time here.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, what was the most important lesson you learned?
Since the first time that I came here, because the first time I came here, I came with a lot of expectations, and I wanted to see visions and this and that, and what I saw were the little things, and I had similar insights this time. It's not like about the bigger visions. I guess a lot of people that think about ayahuasca think they want visions, but it was honing in on the small things, the small habits, the small maybe even attitudes. But there were several lessons, like one, the importance of being clean, not, with the diet as well. Not just when you come to a retreat that you have to be, go through the diet, but I'm going to do my best to continue with that back
Yeah, it's
home.
a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle, yeah, and I noticed with my body even a difference with the diet. Lessons with my own patterns, with boundaries, with my shadow as well, that were playing out in many different ways. And also I saw I had a lot of insight into things that I wasn't seeing with other healing techniques. So to me, this was, ayahuasca really showed me things that I wasn't able to see, even with doing other healing therapies. So that was a big plus for me as well.
You talk about the boundaries. When you are an empath, you feel much more.
Yeah.
That's why you can be a healer.
Yeah.
But then you have to learn how to regulate.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be too open or too close. And depending the moment, sometimes you need to be open or close.
Yeah.
But also, the boundaries are very important because the participants will feel much more comfortable when they really know what they can do and what they cannot do. They will feel safer and relaxed because
Yeah.
the rules, the guidelines are clear. So it's basic, and it's one of the most difficult lessons
Yeah.
the healers need to learn.
This has been one of my biggest lessons and continued lessons, but I feel a lot stronger and firmer within myself to implement stronger boundaries. And like you said, it's not about pleasing the client, or they don't even have to like you, and a lot of the times they will get angry at you and not like a lot of the things that, a lot of your boundaries, let's say, but it's not about that. It's about healing them, and rather than creating codependency.
Allow them to heal.
Yeah.
This is what,
Yes.
what in my opinion, the healer have to give the tools to allow the person to heal
Yes.
whenever they are ready to understand, and if they want to heal.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, well, you are originally from Bahia, Brazil.
Yeah.
So for you, this landscape is not new.
Yeah.
But how do you feel bringing people here every year from Middle East?
Well, it's been my dream actually to combine, even before discovering ayahuasca or the center, to combine bringing people to Brazil, and because I love Bahia and I just want to come home all the time. So it's been a dream come true for me.
Well, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's materialized
Yeah.
now. And what about the food here?
It was incredible. Always is.
Oh my God! Every meal, like, even though we eat so much, every meal is like, oh my God, how do you put this together? The food is just so amazing, and all like healthy and vegan and vegetarian. It's just,
I think everybody
Yeah.
put on a few kilos.
yeah. We wanted the
Were you
ingredients.
afraid about the diet before you come here? Because some people said,
Yeah.
oh, you don't serve meat.
Oh no, I was looking forward to it.
A few of the other participants were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The meat
especially
lovers.
the meat lover, one of the guys, and but he loved it. He even forgot about
Yeah.
meat while he was here.
He
so
didn't crave it.
He didn't crave
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It was difficult, the ayahuasca experience, the vomiting. Were you afraid? How did you feel about that?
Well, obviously I've had experience like with the two other retreats, but obviously I didn't know. You never know what's going to happen. For me personally, I had blocks to receiving, which I was working on, and that was also another insight that I had. But by the last ceremony, um, I think I managed to break through a little bit of that, or a lot. I don't know. Let's see how it unfolds. But it wasn't as definitely was not as difficult as my very first time here 4 years ago, where I saw a lot of my traumas and very harsh experiences, whereas this one was more gentle for me in many ways.
Mm-hmm. And for you, Magella?
I know I was definitely nervous, but I did feel I started connecting with her probably a few weeks before I came here, just talking to her more, and very, very excited to see what I'd discover and what she'd shown me. The first time, I have to say, I was, even though I think it was more of a excitement rather than nerves, and it was just, the first episode was so amazing. Like, she showed me something I'd forgotten about myself, the love of dance and music, and it was just such a joyous experience, dancing and all of that, and connecting with the music. And then by the last session, I knew it was going to be different. I knew she was going to show. Well, I felt like she was going to show me stuff, so I know I was anxious. But she showed me what I needed to see. I had asked, to show me as I am, so to show me my habits and to show me what I am, and the reasons for for the way I am, and that was shown very clearly. And also with your guides, you could help me understand a bit more, because it was a bit out there, some of it, but I'm so happy. I'm happy to go away and leave here with all the information I have. So also being so connected here, and also because of you both, like, feeling there was no need to be that nervous, because you're there and you're watching over us, and you're guiding us too anytime we had issues, or if we felt we couldn't, we were in a loop, or we're feeling uncomfortable. You were there through the whole experience, which is, it's so, you feel so safe. So so it was easy to go within when you have guidance there the whole time, and also some direction when you need it.
And what about the surprises? Because everybody have a lot of expectations when they come. They want to see certain thing, or they want to discover something, and most of the time what people discover is a complete surprise.
So a few of the comments that both you and Rohan said to me just really made me realize a lot of things. Like, for example, I always wanted to see these vivid, clear visions, and Rohan was explaining to me that it's not always like that. Not everybody gets these. Mine always seems to have a filter, but I still get a lot of information. It's just not what I expect, or not what I want.
So you have the insights.
I have the insights, yeah, and I do get it's kind of like a dream state, or I see as if I'm dreaming, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be, And what else, saying as well about these patterns and people go into this and that, and Rose say, well, that's great as well, but that's just for fun. What about, like, you're getting a lot of information about yourself, that's more valuable than
the color
these crazy,
render.
these clear image and the colors, and so that was one. But yeah, I love the ceremony room, the way it's open, but with netted, so you can hear the jungle. I also felt very safe. I feel very safe, and that's why I keep coming back, right? Yeah.
One of the participants in your group was mentioning that the surprise factor, because he discovered things about himself that we all can see, but he was the only one he was not realizing how important was certain circumstances and facts in his life. But he didn't realize. It took him a while. And he was saying no, and until a certain moment he couldn't continue denying.
Yeah, I think we've done a lot of inner work. We've done a lot of training, and we know about inner child healing and shadow work. So I
Yeah.
guess for both of us, well,
We
I'm
could see
assuming-
it more easily.
and we know that.
He
Whereas
doesn't have experience.
he doesn't have
No.
any experience in terms of inner child healing or what that is, and I think that's important for people to understand and know, because like you, I believe everything starts with your childhood and trauma. So I immediately go there, whereas other people will be in denial, and like he was in the beginning,
Yeah.
but then I think this was very
Then
powerful
he
for him.
embraced completely,
Yeah.
and he grows a
He
lot.
was surprised.
Yeah.
He was surprised. that
I like the
stuff came out.
surprise factor.
Yeah.
But now, our purpose is to find out what is your main trauma in your childhood. But sometimes, instead of going to your childhood, you can appear in the womb of your mother or in a past life. So we allow that you go whenever it is you need to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing. Is there anything you would like to add?
Just to thank you. This has
Okay.
been this has been beyond my dreams.
Thank you.
Experience.
It was
so
beautiful
much
for
learning,
us
so
also.
much, and I look forward to coming back. Definitely.
Yeah, me too. I'll definitely be coming back, and to, like you said, she doesn't give you what you expect, but
Yeah.
definitely what you need.
Okay, wonderful. So I see you next year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.